What's good, YouTube? It's YGO 2010 here. Today I'm bringing you a deck profile of my heroes for the September 1st list. There was so many different lists floating around, I saw at least like 7. So I just wanted to make sure one was confirmed before I made a deck revolving around it. And it took me a long time to decide what to put in, what to take out, and like getting the deck to stay at exactly 40. And then after that, the extra deck posed a problem, and I had to take out some stuff because I changed over from Bubble Beat. And here's the finished product. First off, you got, of course, Stratos, the searcher of the deck. Then you got 3 Neos Alias. And next up is 2 Thunder Kings. I feel like a lot of people are going to run decks that search like Dark World and, of course, heroes themselves. So, you play your search stuff, then you drop him first turn. People have to reconsider their moves just to get around him. Then I have 3 Effect Veilers. In a normal deck, I would probably play 2, but since this is all like control oriented, 3 is like what I felt was necessary. And it's only certain decks that I may have an issue with running 3 at, and that would be Dark World. But if I stop all their draw cards, then all they have is, Trance Archfiend, or if they're running Fable Raven, to drop. And once I drop that, their effects aren't cost, so they don't get anything. And finally, I got 2 Photon Thrashers. I found that he's still pretty decent right now. He's 2100 off the bat. And in the mirror match, like, they have to waste something on him, and you still haven't done your normal summon. And for when they drop their Ryo first turn on you, it's either they get ran over for 200 or they tribute Ryo to get rid of him. So he's still pretty decent right now. And for spells, I have 2 emergency calls. I tried it with 1, but since I only run 11 monsters, I need as much searching cards as I can. Next up is 2 Pot of Duality. Standard stuff. Then I got 3 Gemini Spark. I really need to get a stand. Goes with Alias. 3 Miracle Fusions. Bring out the bosses after you done got rid of a whole bunch of cards on their field, leaving them with nothing. A recent change I did was 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. I originally ran with 0, and then after I saw so many people running, back row, and I didn't have too much hate in the deck, I decided to put it at 1. But I feel like more back row is going to be played now with the lists changing up, and Chaos Dragons aren't going to be as rampant, but I still feel like they're going to be there. And for those random people that think Macro Rabbit is, the new Godsend deck, even though Macro won't really hurt anything but Veiler and Miracle Fusion, I just, flip that on them, or the Warning, so it's all good for me. Then, the staple stuff, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Super Poly, Rhoda, and Monster Reborn. I don't feel there's a need to explain for any of those. And for the traps, got 2 bottomless trap holes. Now that Inzectors are almost dead or not going to be seeing any play at all, I felt that I could put these back in. And like I said, the T-Kings are going to be running around, so this is going to hurt. Another new card that I put in was 2 main skill drains. I've already caught some flack from one of my friends saying, skill drain and 3 Veilers, that's a bit much. And I told him, it's going to be times where I don't have one or the other. And I'd much rather, them think that the skill drain is the only thing stopping them, then they try to go off. Then I'll drop the Veiler. And, even if I do have this up and they don't have anything to get rid of it, Veiler's still a tuner. So I feel like Veiler won't be dead for me. It hasn't been so far. 2 warnings, obviously. Solemn Judgment. Most times I get this first turn and like I consider whether or not I want to set it, but I end up just setting it. And like I played my friend with Frog Monarchs. It was first turn and he dropped Swap Frog and I solemned it. And everybody was like, "Why did you do that?" But he had no grave set up. He didn't have anything to bring the Swap Frog back. So he just summoned the monster and had nothing else to go off of. Didn't have anything, any hand traps. And that's like I always solemn warning or stop his first initial summon of Swap Frog because from there he gets infinite, tribute fodder from Treeborn Frog. Then we got Torrential Tribute, just one. Hero Blast. I dropped it down from 2 to 1. I just like I said, I had a tough time getting the deck down to 40. And this is like the only card that I had doubles of that I felt that I could probably get rid of. One Mirror Force. Not a big fan of two of them. I'm not too keen on sitting on stuff. I like stuff that I can play like right then and there. So another thing was protection. Like I noticed that I didn't have a lot of mass monster removal or mass field control. So I decided to keep Mirror Force in over taking it out for something else. And then my last two cards in the deck are my protection of my spell and trap cards, my Starlight Road and my Dark Bribe. I feel the need for this because people tend to run back to Glads at the start of every format. And now that Kalut's at 2, a lot of people are going to say Black Wings are alive and kicking again. They have a few more options and plays, but I still don't think it's going to be like top tier like it once was. And this is for those Geyserus, Icarus attack people right here. And for the extra deck, I have 2 Shinings. Standard 3200 when I play the Miracle Fusion. And when he's sent to the grave, I get to add 2 heroes back. Then we got 2 Escuridao, I think that's how you say his name. Originally, my intent was to use that against Inzectors, which worked out pretty well. But now, Dark World and maybe that random Sam that bring out Shein first turn, they're going to be out there. Only one Nova Master. I don't feel like Rabbit is going to be like a big issue for me, especially with all the stuff that I got. I'm going to easily, make them waste that negation, and it's still not going to, affect me too much. One Great Tornado. One Gaia. One Absolute Zero. I'm going to probably bump him up to 2 once the Abyss Rising stuff come out. Because I already know a lot of people are gonna start playing that deck because it just has so many options and a lot of stuff. Like it's just a big loop, especially with salvage that makes the deck borderline tier 1 in my opinion. And then for Exceeds, I have My Stroke to Symphony Djinn. If I feel like they have a lot of destruction stuff or they're gonna go off, I'll Exceed to this guy. He's like rank 4 Zen mains. You have to kill him 3 times for him to leave. And once per turn, I can detach a material and put a monster face down. Then we got Steel Swarm Roach for those plant crazy kids out there. One Photon Papilloperative. This is my anti-Spirit Reaper guy. And just, if I combine him with the Djinn, I can essentially make any monster that they have weak enough for me to kill. Only one Blade Armor. Like I said, I took the Bubble Man out, so I don't always go into him. I only go into him if like I feel both of the attacks can go off. One Utopia. And one Heroic Champion Excalibur. I had to put him in. Just 4,000 until my next turn comes around. That's that's just hard to get over point blank. And like if only they have to waste something to get over him, or just set and play defensively till my turn comes back around and he drops back down to 2,000. And one Stardust Dragon to go with the Starlight Road. Alright guys, that's the deck for September 1st, 2012. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll try and put up some September duels for you guys. Alright guys, YGO out.